Hi guys and welcome to my channel. I hope you're all well, and today I'm making a build that's inspired by the new Eco Lifestyle expansion pack. The new Eco Lifestyle expansion pack has come out and it has divided a lot of opinions between all the people in the Sims community. I won't go into detail what I think about the pack. I made a reaction video to the trailer when it got announced or released. So if you're interested what I think about of the pack, go ahead and watch that video. But today I am making a eco lifestyle inspired build. I saw in the trailer a lot of different kind of very modern and eco living type of buildings and homes, and it got me very inspired for making this kind of modern recycled home for Sims that can live off the land. So I had the idea that the Sims here who live in this home, they do a lot of gardening and they grow their own food in their yard and upstairs balcony garden, and they have built this home to be very eco-friendly and they've recycled everything. So I made sure to make this build, especially on the inside, to look very recycled. So I tried to go with swatches and furniture and textiles and so on, with a lot of used looking items and very matchy matchy type of style, because I figured that the Sims would have gone around the world and just taken things from different places and recycled objects to make their furniture. So I tried my best to make it seem like that. So the build itself, or the house itself, it's made of concrete and stone. So I imagine they just made themselves a home from, I don't know, some kind of stone or I don't know, concrete elements or something, I don't know. And then the furniture and the inside, all the flooring and wallpapers and so on, they have crafted themselves. Also, I wanted to include plants in this build. So when I saw in the trailer that there were a lot of builds and homes with a lot of plants growing everywhere and on top of each other and on the walls and on the roofs and so on, I was super excited and very inspired by that, because that's right up my alley. I love plants. If I could, I would live in a jungle. I have said this already in many videos, but I love plants. And actually, when I was a child, I had this dream that I could make or build a house that has vines growing inside of it. Because in my childhood home, we had these poles going up the side of our house. I don't know what plant it was, but it was growing vines between the poles, and it looked so nice. And I always thought that I could have made that a reality in inside of the house. But yeah, I love plants so much. I'm not very good at keeping plants alive. I'm trying my best. I've made a schedule and everything, so I'm trying my best to keep my houseplants alive, but it's very difficult sometimes. So yeah, in The Sims it's just perfect that you can just put vines on the side of your house and they will never die. But yeah, I wanted to include that element in this build, that there's like overgrown vines and everything on the side of the house and everywhere it could grow. I still didn't want to put it everywhere, so some of the sides, I think 2 sides of the house are bare or like not that much viney, I don't know. But the 2 sides, like the front and then the like side, it's very like luscious and very overgrown vine type of plants, and I really love that. I made the garden or the yard look very like natural and not overgrown, but still like very like natural and just barely like touched. I don't know. I imagine them just thriving in nature and letting nature do its thing. So I didn't want to do that much, and I included a well, even though you can't use that in The Sims like as a well. But I imagine they could have used that for water. And then I also built these roofs on top of the already existing roofs to make it look like solar panels. I know now that we have solar panels as a debug object on, I think it's Get Famous if I remember correctly, because I saw a lot of people use them and I was so confused because I've never seen them anywhere. But anyways, I don't have Get Famous, the expansion pack, so I couldn't use that anyways. So I just did it as like these roof type of thingies, but I think they look kind of like solar panels. As I said, in the inside I wanted to include this homemade crafted look in there, so I went with swatches that looked like the Sims had made the furniture themselves, especially in the bathroom. So I went with the, I don't remember which pack it came with, but the very like rundown homemade shower, and like the sink and everything, it looks like they've just salvaged them from somewhere, I don't know. And the cabinets in the kitchen don't match, and everything is very like, I think it's City Living that came with objects that were second hand in the build and buy mode. So I went with them, and I used a lot of different textiles that they looked old and used and matchy. And I know it's not like a style that I would necessarily go with or a lot of people would choose, but I still think it looks nice. It looks like it's recycled, and that's the whole point of this build, so I'm very excited that I could make it so it looks like that. And also I wanted to make the windows matchy too, that some of them they managed to have the same ones. For example, upstairs in the bedroom they have these big windows that they managed to get a whole lot of them, and then they have downstairs these different kind of windows that I imagine they just salvaged somewhere and reused, so they didn't need to buy anything. That's the whole point and purpose of this build, that they could just like recycle everything and didn't have to buy anything. I know it's kind of difficult to do that in The Sims, because at least before the new expansion pack comes, there's not that many like reused objects. All the swatches and like colors and furniture, textiles, everything looks very new. Even if the style is old, it still looks new. So I'm very glad that we got reused and like second-hand objects in the city living, I believe, so I could use those. But otherwise, I know it looks very new and polished, but I'm just imagining them just painting everything. So for example, the window frames are all white, so I imagine they just painted them. And same thing with the doors. So I could have them use the very like scratched down like these old used doors, but I thought that better they use a new door, like a new door that they made and painted so it looks nicer, than like old, very like scratched up door that they found somewhere. So I imagine they did some of the furniture and some of the things like themselves, and they look new because of that. And yeah, also the textiles, I went with a whole lot of different textiles and colors in there. So I imagine them just going somewhere and found a lot of like different fabrics that they could have used to make the sofas or bed sheets and all of those things. So I went with different type of textiles and fabrics because of that. And yeah, in the upstairs I kept it very simple, and I made the balcony garden to be very like, I don't know, luscious and nice looking, but still very like useful. So they have this kind of greenhouse type of thing in the back, and there's a lot of plants. And later on I also redid the side of the house with the plants growing on it, on the walls. I redid that and made these like planters, is it planters? All these like plant boxes on the side of the like railing or like half wall in there, I don't know. And although I put this a lot, or I did the lot options as off the grid, I didn't realize none of the lights would work. So if you download this and there's no like option in the new expansion pack that you can use lights with the solar panels, because we don't know yet. So yeah, if you want to play with this, you can just switch that to a different like lot type, so you can use the lights. And I decorated the upstairs very like bare minimum things, because I don't think they would use that many like clutter items and not that much of like, I don't know. If you're living a very eco-friendly lifestyle, I don't think you would have that many items. It's just in my head, I don't know if it's true, and all, of course, people can have different opinions and so on, but in my head, if you're living very eco-friendly and caring about the nature, I wouldn't think they had that many things. Also, they have a TV, which I don't know if it's a correct like way to go. I still think they would use it if they have the solar panels. I don't know, maybe they wouldn't, but in The Sims it's very hard to make the Sims happy, or like, I don't know, they need something to do to make them have fun. I don't know what's the right word for that, but anyways, to have fun in The Sims you can't do gardening, which is very funny to me. I imagine if you're living an eco lifestyle would enjoy that, that you can garden and all. So I don't know, that's weird. So I still included a TV in there so they could have some fun. And I didn't include any skill building objects, so if you download this slot you can put there easels or chess tables or anything you want basically to make your Sims build their skills. I didn't include them, one, because I didn't think about them, and two, because later when I remembered them, I thought that it would be nicer to the players that download this to like think what they want to do, because not all Sims want to paint and not all Sims want to play guitar and so on. So that's the reason I didn't include them. And I also included this like pipe going down the wall and the air conditioning device, I don't know, the like build thing there, just to make it look like the solar panels were actually used. Yeah, this is the finished build. I hope you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed building this. It's very like my style, not the furniture but the build. It's very modern but very like, there's so many plants in there, so I loved that. And even though I'm not that excited for the new expansion pack, I'm really curious to see what are they gonna like bring to the game, like, because it's an expansion pack, it needs to have something to bring to the game, so I'm really curious to see what that is. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you do want to download this, it's up on my gallery ID, and all my social media links are down below in the description. And if you like my videos, go ahead and subscribe, I would love that. And yeah, I hope you have a lovely day or night and week or weekend whenever you're watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!